So in today's video, I just wanted to talk about whether or not it is worth investing your money and time into a NOCD therapist. I am speaking from past experience. A year ago almost to this day, I hired my first therapist through NOCD, and I am currently living without OCD. I'm glad to say that. So I wanted to make a video to show you guys whether or not it is worth it for you in your situation and whether or not it'll help your OCD. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So my past experience with OCD is pretty much textbook to all of you guys who may also be suffering from OCD. I was going through a tough time. I had a lot of anxiety. I couldn't really function much in my daily life. And I really realized that I needed help, and I finally accepted the fact that, okay, it's time to go get some help, someone to reach out to, someone to help me and guide me through this situation. Essentially, I've been dealing with OCD all my life, and when I was around 19 years old, which was last year, I finally took the step to reach out for help, and I just went on the NOCD app, and I typed in my email, answered a couple of questions, and they said they would get back to me with a phone call on a specific date. Anyways, they called me back, and the initial call basically just went over my issues, what I was going through, the specific types of OCD that I was going through. And once the phone call was done, they told me the pricing. I'll just tell you guys it right here, but it's around 160 Canadian dollars per session. That's a little bit more pricey than a regular therapist. But again, I did my research, and if you really want to fix your OCD, you need an OCD therapist compared to a regular therapist. Most therapists are not experienced in OCD, and OCD is a whole different beast compared to, let's say, depression and regular anxiety disorders. Next, after I finished the initial call and I signed up, I got in contact with my therapist on the NOCD app. And on the NOCD app, you could text your therapist, go through some questionnaires with your therapist, and you set up a call. So once you set up a call with your therapist, you basically just go on the Zoom call. It's very simple, guys. It was a very easy process. So initially, you just go through, sign up, talk to your therapist, set up a booking date, and then you talk to your therapist. The initial phone call with the therapist was just going over my issues, my past, just like a regular therapist, but also including specifically what types of OCD I was dealing with and what we could do. Now, after each session, we would talk about what we went through, what I could do, and how we can move forward. Initially, it was very hard, as most of you guys who will be in therapy or who are considering therapy are probably going through a hard time. And it is not easy. You're very anxious, you're uncertain what could happen, and it is a very scary time. So again, the onboarding session was very easy with NOCD. They were very nice. The therapist I got, her name is Angela. She's really, really great. She's very helpful. And one thing I knew going into it was that I won't see results right away, and that's what she told me. So if you're going into this thinking that your OCD will be cured just because you have a therapist, it's not going to be the case. It is a tedious and hard and scary process that takes months of hard work. Most people think, okay, I got a therapist, let me just sit back, not do the work, and relax. I thought the same too, but my therapist, she really cleared it up for me, saying that you really have to do the work, and you really have to put in the work right now so that you'll thank yourself in the future. What I mean by work, and what most of the work around curing your OCD looks like with a therapist, is through ERP, which is exposure response prevention, which is basically exposing yourself to the fear. My therapist really guided me through that, and your therapist would too if you're going with an OCD therapist. Also, these progressively get harder and harder, and in addition to the ERP, you actually do stuff on your own as well. So for example, meditation, they tell you to meditate. They also tell you to write down your thoughts, write down what you're thinking, write down what your fears are. You also have to learn how to accept your thoughts through grounding. This is another technique that was taught to me and what you will learn with an OCD therapist. So for example, grounding would be if you're having these scary thoughts or your OCD is coming back, you basically just sit down and notice what you're doing in the present moment. So right now I'm looking into a camera, I am sitting down, I'm noticing what I'm feeling. That's basically what grounding is. And you're really just learning how to cope with your OCD. So all in all, the progress kind of looks like this, right? You set up a call with the consultant at first. The consultant then diagnoses you with a therapist. The therapist then talks to you, gives you questions, you answer, and then you get an official diagnosis for OCD or not. Then after that, your sessions begin, and each session goes over different aspects of what you can do to fix your OCD, whether you're dealing with a specific OCD or you're struggling to stay present. But all in all, it all boils down to whether or not you do the work. And this is the final section I wanted to discuss. An OCD therapist will only be effective if you face your fears and you do the hard work. You can have the best therapist in the world, and if you're sitting there on your ass doing nothing, you're not going to see results. You can kind of think of it like the gym. Like if you hire the best personal trainer out there, you won't see results to your body unless you do the hard work and actually work out, actually eat the healthy food that you have to do. And that's when you're going to see results. Also, the results won't come right away, but if you keep going and you keep actually believing in the process through continuously doing your expose and response prevention, continuously meditating and trying to stay present, continuously grounding, and really educating yourself on what OCD is, you will 100% see change. My therapist talked to me about different people who have been with her for years and have not seen results. So whether or not you sign up with a therapist or not, I would recommend, if you're willing to put in the work and you have the money, definitely go with NOCD. It's worth it. There's a community. You get to go to online sessions with other people who have OCD, or you can go for the private sessions. But it's worth it if you do the work. If you're not willing to put in the work, then you might as well just not even do it or waste your money. But if you have the money and you're willing to change your ways and really face your fears head on, and you're sick and tired of living the way you are, then it's worth it. Anyways, guys, I really hope this helped you make a decision. Please let me know what you guys do in the comments below. I'd love to know. If you guys have any questions also in terms of your OCD, I'm not going to give you reassurance, but if you need any help with like signing up for an OCD, or you need some advice on something, just let me know. I'm really open to help. I suffered with OCD for all my life, but now I'm good. So I really think I could give you advice on how I could help. And yeah, guys, that was the video. Thanks for watching.